Queen, live albums, worst to best. Boom, here we go. Alright, Queen is my favorite band. We already did Queen worst to best albums, studio. I mentioned some of the live albums in here, so we're gonna run down all of them. I've been re-listening to everything again for about the past 2 weeks. That's how I do this thing. I gotta re-listen to everything. I don't just go by memory. I go by actual research and stuff too. So I've seen Queen 3 times and a tribute band. I saw, of course, not with Freddie Mercury because he's been dead since I was like 14. I saw this tour, Paul Rogers. Cool. Any shirt with a side patch on the sleeve, that's always cool. Nothing on the back though. No tour dates. I saw Adam Lambert twice. The first time I saw Queen with Adam Lambert was Brian May's birthday. I was in the very last seat in Mohegan Sun, all the way up at the top, the very last row. It was a great show. And then the other time I saw him, I spent like $200. I got maybe like 8th row back, off to the side. Got to see the back of the stage where all Brian May's guitars were. Awesome. But the Paul Rogers show, saw Brian May, Burgundy Lincoln Town car. I was taking the band out. I saw Roger Taylor's car go out. And then I saw another car and it got kind of stopped in the road. All the fans kind of rushed the car. Everybody's waving. It's Brian May. He's waving to everybody. I was like, between here and the camera away from him, and he waved to me specifically. Looked right at me. It was like a big moment in my life. I also went and saw 3 times, and I also saw the Queen tribute band, Gary Mullen and the Works. He's the best Freddie Mercury impersonator out there. Everybody else pales in comparison. He does all the in-between song banter just like him. Insane. We'll get to him later. Let's do this though. Queen live albums. I narrowed it down to 12. There's a lot of unofficial ones. I know every time I go to this music store, FYE, I don't know if they're national. It's a record store in the mall and in New England. And they always have just about any band, AC/DC, Kiss, name the band Guns N' Roses. They'll always have radio broadcasts put on some third-party unofficial label, but I'm not counting those, even though they would have had a Works tour that they had the Sun City show, stuff like that. They don't count. I'm gonna narrow this down to 12 live albums. This is the ones we're counting. Number 12. It's actually 2 different versions of this album. Let me go through my pile right here. It is Queen at the Beeb live. Also, the American version is at the BBC. And then they also had a double disc version that came out, 2 years ago? Queen on Air. This came out in 89. The American version of this came out in 95 or 6. The other one came out 2 years ago. Basically them on BBC. I don't know if it was radio, TV show, stuff like that. I'm not British. I don't know what the BBC did. I know they got a million BBC channels. This one was weird disappointment. I always remember seeing the original copy of this, not the Hollywood Records one, the record stores back in the day. Had a different cover on it and stuff like that. It was like, whoa, it had all Queen's early stuff. Kept meaning to buy it, didn't get it, and then it finally came out on this re-released in America. I finally got it. And it's got My Fairy King, Keep Yourself Alive, Doing All Right, Liar, Ogre Battle, Great King Rat, Modern Times Rock and Roll, Son and Daughter on there. I thought it would be a live concert or something. It's not really. It's kind of live in studio for radio broadcasting. They're not exactly live. There's lots of guitar overdubs on there. Brian May's not playing rhythm and lead at the same time. It's really obvious, but so it kind of sounds like they re-recorded the first album, even though Ogre Battle's not on there. The double disc version that came out a few years ago has even more songs, but those are more live. But it's it's still like in a studio, no crowd. Uh, so they just kind of sound like, live in studio re-recordings. A lot of those are on the Queen double discs. Uh, the reissue from the studio albums from about 10 years ago, they were like bonus tracks on um, News of the World. Jazz had a few of them on there, like Spread Your Wings was on there and stuff like that. Not essential stuff. I mean, it's cool to hear like another version of them, but there's nothing to get excited about. And then they had a 6-disc box set, even more stuff that was on the radio, interviews, stuff like that. You don't need it for the very, 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 very completist. If I saw that double disc one, because I only get the tape for my collection, it was used and it was cheap, I'd buy it. But other than that, forget it. Oh, Queen, the double disc version has, Queen always opens the show up until, I think, the Hot Space tour. They would do the fast version of We Will Rock You. In the end of the show, they would do the regular version. This one's got a studio live recording of We Will Rock You. It's basically the only studio version you're going to hear of the fast We Will Rock You. So that's one selling point of getting Queen on air. All right, number 11. We're going to do, where is it? Queen, Live Magic. There's two kinds of live albums to me. Contemporary ones that come out like right after the tour, and ones that are like archived that are like, 30 years later, 40 years later. They pull them out of the vault, good cash grab. This one was contemporary. This one the Magic Tour was in 86. This came out in December. Summer 86. This one came out Christmas time. Good Christmas gift for everybody. People were pissed at this album when it came out. Why would you say that? It's live from the Magic Tour. That was a great tour. Everybody knows that one. That's the Yellow Jacket Freddy, stuff like that. There's a lot of editing in it. Like, Live Killers was the first live album. It was like, oh, this finally we get a follow-up to that. That was double disc, even though that was like a bunch of shows kind of edited together to make it sound like a full concert. This one isn't. This is edited down. You don't have like, in between banter with the audience, stuff like that. This is just live song, edit. Live song, edit. Live song, edit. So it's kind of like a condensed version of the concert. They did some really bad edits too. They took like Bohemian Rhapsody and they cut out the opera section. I don't know why they needed to save like 30 seconds of time on there. They could have just dumped another song. Made every song on here sound like kind of like a medley, which Queen would do like somewhere in the first third of the show. They'd hit you with a couple of hits, and then they go into some medleys, and then they go back into longer songs. This seemed like almost every song on here was like like We Will Rock You, I know was cut short. Friends Will Be Friends, I think that was kind of cut short. We Are the Champions, boom. It was like boom, boom, minute, another song. So, I mean, it's all the performances on here are good, but I would say this is good if you like driving in the car. You don't want to listen to the whole double disc of Live at Wembley or something like that. It's a fun album, but it's kind of a disappointment. Number 10. This isn't even like specifically a live album. It's a Bohemian Rhapsody movie soundtrack. Why would I throw that on there? Because it's got the Live Aid performance. One problem with it though, it's not the complete Live Aid performance. They didn't include Crazy Little Thing Called Love in it, because Crazy Little Thing Called Love is on the soundtrack is just like the regular song. I don't have a copy of this because it's basically just another greatest hits, and I've heard Live Aid performance like a billion times. I think I have like an MP3 of it that I bootlegged off of YouTube or something. If I see this cheap used in the store, I'd buy it. Also, one cool thing on there was in the beginning of the movie, the 20th Century Fox fanfare, Brian May plays it. That's pretty cool to have. There's a couple other live tracks on there, but it's not really essential. Number 9. Number 9, we got Hungarian Rhapsody, which I have a dub, because when This first came out, was on VHS tape, and I rented it at Blockbuster way back in the day in the 90s, and wanted to make a live album of it, hooked up my tape player to the TV, boom, made a copy of it. They released it on CD in, my notes say, 2012. I never went back and bought it, even though there's extra tracks on there. For the longest time, this was like my favorite version of I Want to Break Free. Going back, listening to everything is not anything that different than, you know, a live Magic or live at Wembley. But I don't know why. I used to jam this one out in my car all the time. Great performance. Probably the best tour. It's low on the list because live at Wembley's coming up. It's going to be high on the list. Where exactly? I don't know. Stay tuned. Number 8. Kind of blasphemous to some people that I would put this one above some of the other ones on there. But it's going to be Queen and Adam Lambert live around the world. Queen, there's no bad performances on this, but it's kind of samey with all the other live albums because it's the original lineup. You kind of, how many times can you hear Now I'm Here? Done the same way. So you want, like, other bands, they had like constant lineup changes and stuff, like Black Sabbath. You want to hear the Dio version of Paranoid. You want to hear Tony Martin do Paranoid. You want to hear Ian Gillan do it. But Queen, it was the same band up until Freddie died, and then they was on ice for another 15 years or so. Then they come back. Adam Lambert, you get some fresh songs thrown into the mix now. They finally did. You got a song that was never done live was Love Kills. They did it off, what was the name of that? I got it written down. From the Queen Forever Greatest Hits from a few years ago. They took Freddie's solo song Love Kills, and then they made like a acoustic ballad out of it. They do that live here, so that's like something to look forward to on here. I Was Born to Love You off the Made in Heaven album. They did that on here, so that's a cool pickup. They also do the full Live Aid set. They make this sound more like a live concert than Live Magic. Oh, this is kind of like Live Magic, where it was taken from a bunch of different shows. But it's pretty good. This, you want this one because you want to hear Queen do a little bit different stuff on here. Right. Number 7, Queen Rock Montreal. Is this one too low? I don't know. I don't have a physical copy of this one either, but they used to play the crap out of it. A VH1 Classic and Access TV. And always watching it, I always thought like it kind of left me flat. I don't know why. Because it always seemed like the crowd was dead, and they weren't like having fun playing. There's something about it that's very workmanlike of their playing. Maybe they were like nervous because they were filming it for a movie, because this was a concert movie. I think it came out in theaters in the early 80s. Didn't resurface again until they actually put it out on DVD like maybe 10 years ago. So when I went back and did this list, I went back to listen again. It's like, I want to see if my eyes are deceiving me and what my ears say. It was like, then beginning of the concert, the crowd's all whipped up and Queen's playing hard, playing the fast version of We Will Rock You. Then kind of like dies off, and I don't know, it just doesn't like grab me. The set list is great, but there's the Hot Space Tour has almost the same set list. From like, you're getting songs like Save Me, Dragon Attack, stuff like that on there. This is probably the best version of Another One Bites the Dust, which I never really liked live. But something about this, and there's basically all these songs you'll hear better on the live album from the next tour. But we'll get to that later. This one just doesn't blow me away. Probably because it was like the last live album they did from like an arena. Everything, you always think Queen, you think of like a big stadium and stuff and everybody singing along, but this was like an arena, not like the old days or Live Killers or the early like 74 stuff at the Rainbow. This was like them at, big time superstars, but they're still in an arena, which it was kind of weird. Even though every time I seen them was in an arena. Number six. Number six, the first time I got to see Queen live. Queen, Return of the Champions with Paul Rodgers. Basically, we finally got the Innuendo tour. First standouts though, Brian May sings 39. Freddie used to do it live all the time. And he also sings Love of My Life. It's kind of like a tribute to Freddie in there, so that was pretty cool. But live versions of These Are the Days. The only time we ever got to hear it live before this was the Freddie Mercury tribute concert. Show Must Go On with Elton John, same thing. Why did they ever put like a CD out of that? The Freddie Mercury tribute concert. I don't know. Probably rights issues. Probably would take like 5 discs to do it. Last Horizon off of Brian's solo album. That was like his big guitar solo high point of the concert. Then you got a whole bunch of Bad Company songs. Feel Like Making Love, All Right Now, Can't Get Enough. When I saw them live, they did Bad Company. They don't do it on here. This tour, they also did A Kind of Magic, and every time I went and seen them with Adam Lambert or with Paul Rodgers, no Kind of Magic. I saw like one interview, they said they changed up the set list for America because some songs were hits around the world, and A Kind of Magic was a huge hit around the world. That's not an obscure song here. We've seen Highlander, and it was on Greatest Hits 2, Classic Queen, whatever version of it you got. The album sold zillions of copies. Everybody has it. Everybody knows that one. You can play it next time. All right. Wrote this down. I think I'm going to flip-flop it. I'm going to go... Actually, I forgot to show. Look, here, I got this. I'm going to go... For number 5, I'm going... A Night at the Odeon. Queen, A Night at the Odeon. This is pretty damn good. It's basically the beginning of Night at the Opera tour, but they only play Bohemian Rhapsody. That's the only song they play from the album. Double checking it? No, they do the recording of God Save the Queen at the end. So basically, you're getting the Sheer Heart Attack tour. Bohemian Rhapsody's fresh. It's only been out for a few weeks. It's on the charts. And they don't do the opera section. Like I said, they do medleys somewhere in the beginning third of the show. And they do Bohemian Rhapsody, then they go into Killer Queen, then they do March of the Black Queen. They never play that completely full. The song's probably impossible for them to play. Then they go into the end of Bohemian Rhapsody. So this is pretty damn good, but kind of samey. That's why I put Live Magic and... Well, Live Magic should have been there, but also put Hungarian Rhapsody at the low list. A lot of overlap, a lot of the same stuff with these archive releases. They put out like tours of the same material. Even though it's a different tour, it's like the same stuff that were played over and over again. So that's the penalty that one gets, even though that album is smoking. No, I'll get to that one bit later. I'll get to that bit later. Where are we at now? We're at number 4. Queen, On Fire, Live at the Bowl. But Mike, that's the Hot Space Tour. That album stinks. Everybody hates that album. No, you didn't hear those songs live. What song am I thinking of? Stay in Power. Stay in Power live absolutely rips. It destroys. You got to see that. Back Chat's actually pretty good. This one's also got like the Rock Montreal. They're playing Flash. They're playing Hero. They also play Dragon Attack on here, all the cool songs you want, because this is a better version of the Montreal set list. If a couple of with the Hot Space songs thrown in, the better, superior ones. If they recorded them like they play them here live without the drum machines and the fake synthesizer bass and stuff like that, that album would have been far more loved. I like the album. I don't even think I put it last. I forgot where I put it. Oh, Cosmos Rocks was dead last. Then I think I put The Miracle. I don't know. I wasn't feeling that album when I made that list, but I do love The Miracle. I love all the albums. The only one that was stunk was Cosmos Rock. Alright, we're going to do honorable mentions now. I always throw in honorable mentions because we're already at 20 minutes on this video. 5 Live. That was actually stuff from the Freddie Mercury tribute concert. But it was only 2 songs. It was a George Michael EP, basically. And they have him doing Somebody to Love, which absolutely is awesome. Oh, forgot. This is the best version of Somebody to Love on here. And These Are the Days of Our Lives, where he does with Lisa Stansfield. You can get Somebody to Love on Greatest Hits 3, but I thought that was worth mentioning. And of course, you got to mention Brian May's Live at Brixton Academy. He plays lots of Queen songs on there. Most of the ones that he was responsible for writing. But my favorite drummer, probably ever, Cozy Powell, was in his band. Neil Murray was in his band. Both those guys were in Black Sabbath and Whitesnake. And Cozy Powell was in Rainbow, and then they play the Rainbow song, Since You've Been Gone. It absolutely kills. Love it. So that's a good one to check out. All right, here we went back to the flip-flop because I had between 5 and number 3, but I'm going to go with number 3 because I went back and listened to this again. Live at the Rainbow 74. You get 2. You get 2 shows on this. A double disc. I think there was a single disc version too. But you get the Queen 2 tour and you get the Sheer Heart Attack tour. They're both from 1974. You get March and then you get November. Because I was thinking about this. I just watched a video on YouTube of them playing Ferry Feller's Master Stroke. It's like, you're not getting that live anywhere else. That's a pretty obscure song by them off the first album. Well, how obscure is anything like Queen? They're like biggest band. But that's pretty damn cool. None of this stuff is in the set. They would, I think, on the Works tour they snuck in Great King Rat for a little bit. Liar, Liar was in lots of the tours. They would always try and find a way to sneak in at least the intro riff. They did that all the way up to like the Magic tour. Great King Rat, Son and Daughter. They used to play that a lot early on. They dumped that, I think, on Day at the Races tours. Jailhouse Rock, they play that a lot on here. See What a Fool I've Been. That was their closer. But then you get even more songs from the Sheer Heart Attack, or then they throw in, what else? Do they have? No, Seven Seas of Rye, that's on both of them. The early versions of Seven Seas of Rye absolutely kill. March of the Black Queen, they never played the whole thing. Hey Big Spender, they did that again later on after they dropped that soon. But this is a great album. You get 2 of them on here. It's early years, the earliest of the early years. I saw a YouTube video of Live at the Rainbow where a guy he compared it to the original bootleg recording to this version, and he found some auto-tuning in it. Why did they do that? They didn't need to do that. The original version was fine. One of the best parts about listening to Queen albums is how Freddie would like dodge a note here or there. He does it a lot on like the Live at Wembley and stuff. But that was like is what made him entertaining live. Maybe they could have sweetened up like a drum beat or something like that. Who cares? We didn't need to. They always killed it live anyway. They always killed it. They didn't need to do that, but you're kind of robbing us of the nuances of like Freddie's genius and stuff like that. So I don't. Did they do that on the remaster of Live at Wembley from a few years back? I don't know. I didn't look that deeply into the subject, but who's got that much time to pick out every little auto-tune from the entire album? I mean, this it took me 3 months in order to throw out like another worst to best here, so whatever. So, where are we now? So that means there's 2 big ones left. Alright, the first live album, Live Killers. This is after they dumped all the early stuff out of their set list, and then this is basically all the big classic songs. We Will Rock You, fast versions on there again. Let Me Entertain You, Bicycle Race. A song I really hate, Get Down, Make Love. I said that in the Queen video. There's the trinity of the worst Queen songs. Get Down, Make Love, Body Language, and the one on The Miracle. My Baby Does Me. It's like this. They did the same song 3 times, like 3 different versions. We Are the Champions. We Will Rock You's on here. The regular version. Tie Your Mother Down. All the post Date the Racist stuff. I mean, yeah, Night at the Opera stuff's on there. I forgot, was Somebody to Love on here? No, it wasn't on here. Whew. Yeah, so basically you get Somebody to Love. It was only on, no, it was on, I think it was on the Adam Lambert one? The Adam Lambert one I was only streaming. I didn't actually buy a copy of that one. Never mind, whatever. Live Killers has the best version of Now I'm Here. I love the whole, like, this part kind of like before he did the AOs, he would do that during, like, Now I'm Here. He's like, now I'm here. And they'd have everybody sing back with him. Now I'm Here, I think, is on every one of these except for the Magic Tour stuff, and it's on more albums than I think We Will Rock You and We Are the Champions. Go figure. Yeah, they played Now I'm Here when I saw them all 3 times, but you know what they didn't play? They didn't play A Kind of Magic. No, love that song. So what does that make number 1? Of course, it's going to be Live at Wembley. Single cassette version, extra bonus tracks version. Then they got even like a newer version of that with even more tracks from the Friday night show. Most of this was the Saturday night show, unless they pulled some trick editing or something on there. One of my favorite Queen live moments ever was they do Hello Mary Lou. The Ricky Nelson song on there. The harmonies on that was sick. They did their little acoustic set after Love of My Life and Just the World We Created. Then they did, oh, You're So Square, Baby I Don't Care. Then it goes into Tutti Frutti. And then they just go crazy before the encore. All the big heavy songs. This rules. This is iconic. You got him in his yellow jacket. I will say this is actually better than Live Aid. This is like one big, like 2-hour Live Aid. That's why. They go back to the scene of the crime. They go back to Wembley Stadium, play basically the biggest, best concert they ever did. And I don't remember if did I mention in the beginning I saw a Queen tribute band, Gary Mullen and the Works. When I saw them, they opened the beginning of the show. The first like 4 or 5 songs they did were straight up direct versions from this. They played them exactly like the way they did this. Every nuance from this album, they played just like that, and I was like, "Oh my God, this is Live at Wembley!" Because this is basically my favorite Queen album. Outside of studio albums, whatever. This one I listened to like absolute crazy. I love it, love it, love it, love that album. Wow, we're already at 26 minutes. I don't know who I'm going to do next for a rock video. I was thinking for a worst to best, Metallica. I'm a Metallica fan, but I'm not the biggest Metallica fan. Maybe that's interesting. I don't know. Leave that in some comments. If you like this, I forgot some stuff. I don't know. There's a lot of rambling to do, and I took notes. This is actually the second take. The first take, I rambled even longer. I needed notes to rein me in. So, like, subscribe, comment, all that stuff. I'll be back with some toy videos, but I'm going to try and throw in more rock videos too.